Live to give. Such simple words, yet people manage to overcomplicate them the way they often do with quotes. Give blood, give marrow, give hope, give roots, give knowledge, give food, give a smile, give back, simply give. And when you find that you don't have much to give and you're cold and brokenhearted and in need of love to fill your emptiness, you know what will happen? The people you once gave to will give to you.
The Women's Center, it matters in so many different ways. And the building that the Women's Center is in was the very first location just for women in the entire state of Washington. And the suffragettes used to meet there. And I think that that suffragette spirit is still in the wooden boards that make up Cunningham, because it's a place where, and now it's women and men, come together to think about really interesting, exciting projects that end up making the world a better place for women and that make this campus a better place for women.
One of the things I like about this center is that we model how to build true community. All the work we do, everything that's done here at the Women's Center is done by our community.
I had an enormous awakening that women were the only possible thing that could create a different culture. We're half the human race. It takes about half the human race to stand up and say, enough already, enough.
I wish for all girls, but especially these girls of the Making Connections and the Women's Center programs, that they will be empowered to change the world we live in, to be better mothers, to be better leaders, to be keeping us from fighting wars, because I think women are better at that, and to be the people that they're the maximum that they can be to really make this world a better place.
During the application season, our mentors, tutors, volunteers, and staff stay late into the night guiding students through the application process. We have a rich tradition. Whenever a student is ready, everything stops. We gather around, start the drum roll, and cheer the students on as they hit the submit button.
So when I was done filling up everything that I was supposed to do on the computer, so I pulled everyone out and everyone was right beside me and like shouting and saying, submitted, and it was a happy moment.
So the Making Connections students, not only do we encourage them to go on to higher education, but we emphasize math, science, and technology to go into those fields. And so we take these students to places like biomed, which is biotechnology industry, for them to meet with scientists, to see that they can be scientists.
So we're looking at an animal that's more dangerous than the great white shark. The Anopheles mosquito spreads a disease called malaria, which kills 1 million people a year. 90% of those people are mothers and children under the age of 5.
We also took them to Seattle Eagle Aviation Camp, where the pilots took them up in the air for them to see that they can become pilots. In fact, the pilot was a woman, so there's a role model for them to see someone who looked like them flying a plane.
Not only are these young women learning about just what it takes to fly and aviation, air traffic control, the whole gamut, but really building their self-esteem, their confidence, so that they know they too can be flying these planes. So it just makes it that much more obtainable. So this is not something that other folks do. This is something that they could do too.
Oh, really? Yeah. Congratulations! You made it!
I know. We use this space at the Women's Center for another fabulous program named after Elena Morris National Education for Women's Leadership Program. A special thank you to our benefactor Floyd Jones. Because of his generosity, we are able to have this program at the Women's Center.
So I participated in the Elena Morris New Leadership Institute, and one of the biggest takeaways for me was that over the last couple years, I developed this sort of far-fetched idea that I wanted to run for office. And I walked into a room full of incredibly powerful and bright and driven young women who made me feel like that maybe wasn't so far-fetched of a dream.
The Women's Center is a place that's changing the world. What's so fun for me about being involved with the Women's Center, it's a place where I get to touch the future.
This is where the foundation is laid, right here with the Making Connections program. and getting the young girls who aren't sure what their hope is. They're starting to define what their hope is, these young ladies. And then as they get mentored up with making connections, they start getting into, wow, I could do this. Well, I can do this. I mean, no, I can do that? Wow. You know, that is incredible.
And the Women's Center is really a place of action. This is where we are constantly working to enhance the lives of everybody who walks through these doors. I mean, everyone, both women and men.
We have respectfully attempted to restore faith in humanity. We gave time when we didn't have to. We showed humility, and we did it genuinely, without wishing to be reciprocated for our kindness. When we've learned to do all of these things, we've simply learned to live to give. And in return, we will receive. We'll receive blood, we'll receive marrow, we'll receive hope, we'll receive knowledge, we'll receive a smile, we'll receive a thank you, we'll simply receive. Thank you.